welcome to the show. SKIDS PODCAST. Shane Kopke. I am here with Tim Gage and Kevin McNichols.
Hello.
He has to put on an accent every time for fucking I don't know why.
Every time.
It makes no sense.
Doesn't need to make sense. It just has to happen.
It should probably make sense. It's weird.
Never. No sense.
Anyway, the world's on fire.
It is.
It's great, isn't it?
Yeah, it's...
I, for one, welcome it.
I'm fine with it.
You know, we haven't had a good riot in a very long time.
We have not.
You know what I mean?
Not since 20... Was it 2020?
Oh, goodness. Has it been that long? Far too long for between riots.
Here's my question, though. Is this the powder keg that just needs the spark?
No. The last one was supposed to be.
This is already worse.
You think so? You think
It's
this
so
is worse
far,
than
yeah.
George Floyd riots?
So far,
You
yes.
think this is worse? Well, the George
So
Floyd
far.
riots, let's just say, okay, the George Floyd riots, though, went on for a long period
That's the
of time.
difference so far.
Yeah.
That's it.
There was the link.
Has there been any murders yet?
One.
Yeah, there's been...
One that I know of, I heard about one body that was found in L.A., and the person had been, like, beaten to death.
Because they had, what? Seattle had the murders at the CHOP, or whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah.
We had the murder in Portland, where the guy was just walking along, got
Yep.
capped. And obviously Kyle Rittenhouse.
Almost got killed, but then he ended up having to
killed
kill
someone
kill
and then,
two
yeah.
guys.
Remember,
Yeah.
he killed 3 black people.
Oh,
Yes.
that's right. Yeah,
Shot them in the back,
all the black
apparently.
people that he shot
Yeah.
in their homes.
Yeah, I know. He did it in their
They were
homes.
just sitting there playing, reading their Bibles and
Yeah.
It was a
paying
Bible
their
night.
tithes
Doing-
and taxes,
doing-
and
yeah.
he just busted in and shot him, gunned him down in cold blood.
Yeah, it was pretty wild
That's
that he
what
got
I'm saying.
off.
That's what I'm saying.
mean-
I think it hasn't reached Floyd level
Yeah,
yet, in my opinion.
and we
I'm not
all
saying
know
that it's reached the level. It's worse
Surpassed
to
it.
start. To start, it's worse. Yes.
It's definitely kicked off harder.
Yeah,
for
absolutely.
Sure. But I will say this though is that the government, is actually taking much bigger steps than they did then.
Look, Gavin
Faster?
Newsom's gone back and forth on this. He started out with like,
True.
everything's fine, everything's great. Now he's put out a statement saying that we will prosecute to the full extent of the law any rioters, and this has to stop now.
Well, and
It's
that's
like,
yeah.
You brought in the National Guard got brought in.
Had to be
Yeah.
brought in because he
And-
refused to bring him in.
and now also Marines are being brought
Yeah,
in.
like what, 300 Marines or 700 Marines or something like that?
I read that it had been up to like 2,000 or 3,000.
Oh,
or
they're
something
bringing
like
more than that.
Yeah.
I think the National Guard was in the thousands, but I
Yeah.
think the Marine level was relatively low for the area.
Uh-huh.
But this isn't just
And I
L.A.
just-
This
yeah.
is this is Chicago. This is New York. These are all the
Yeah.
big cities. And
Mhm.
like I said, there might. I haven't heard anything
Let's
recent
wait till
about
Saturday.
Portland, but yeah, Saturday is going to be insane.
Well, and the thing is, too, is that, like, Gavin Newsom, I think one of the reasons why he's backing off is because at first he was very defiant. And then,
Of course,
because
and-
Trump said something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then the thing is, though, also, the polls and everything are not going in the favor
Yeah, because
of
nobody
these
wants
people.
their fucking city on fire.
Right.
It was just on fire when
Right.
they ran out of water
Right.
somehow.
Well, people are not putting up with this shit anymore because during the BLM stuff, people just kind of, like, kept their head down. A lot of people did. They didn't say shit, or, they didn't. There wasn't a lot of people that were speaking out about it.
I think there
now
was. It's
I feel
just-
like there's more people that are just coming out being like, dude, stop this fucking
Yeah, no,
shit.
not again.
Like,
We're not doing
yeah,
this again.
Exactly.
I think that's why the whole movement of the National Guard coming in so quick was no, we're not doing this again.
Yeah.
And the thing that's ridiculous about this is we're trying to get to the individuals that have come across these borders illegally.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yeah.
And there's people actually defending that. It's like, no, they're awarded due process in this. They should be allowed the right to have due process before they're deported.
Which what I've realized
That's
doing,
the argument I
doing-
hear
doing-
about
Yeah,
it.
yeah. And what I've realized doing some reading into this is that what these people say due process is they seem to think that illegal immigrants are going to get a jury trial. Like,
Yeah.
No, sorry, that's not what you get. No, a citizen gets a jury trial because you get a jury of your peers. An illegal immigrant does not have peers because they're not a fucking
El
citizen.
Chapo's on the fucking jury.
Right,
Call
yeah.
in a
So it's
tribunal
like,
from fucking,
dude, no, they get a
Mexico
hearing.
and
They get a
Guatemala.
hearing in front of a judge, and then they get the fuck sent back.
Yeah.
They just go to Home Depot to pick up their jury.
But the challenge of it is even the judges
We need a
won't
day
let
jury.
them go.
Yeah.
The judge will, like that. Those couple judges now that have had the that the individuals like sneak out the back so they could avoid ICE
Yes,
arrests.
that one judge that actually
arrested
helped
her.
them.
Yeah.
They did.
And I think that might be
lady.
I think that could be why Newsom's fallen in line, is because Trump himself said, no, it wasn't Trump, it was the Tom Holman.
Yeah.
Said, if you're going to get in our way, we will prosecute you to the full extent of federal law.
Yeah, I love Tom Homan.
And he wasn't fucking around. And even Newsom's like, I'd like to see him try. You know, he got all defiant as that. It's like, he knows where I'm at. And now that script's been flipped.
Uh-huh.
Because I think
I don't understand how anybody
24
follows
hours.
Gavin Newsom after COVID. After him going, you guys can't go outside. You have to be masked everywhere. And then there's pictures of him at a party.
Yeah, he was at a party.
Yeah.
He was going out at
No
fancy
mask.
restaurants. Yeah,
Fucking
no mask.
all of them drinking wine together.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I mean, the
You
guy's
know,
the
rules
biggest
for thee,
goddamn-
not for me.
Yeah.
Well,
And then the fire that just happened. I mean, it's like him and the mayor.
No, she was
were
on vacation.
awful.
yeah, she was in like
not even-
Africa or something like that.
yeah.
Or just visiting
And
the,
she took
the
her
motherland.
sweet time coming back. And then when
Yeah.
she came back, she's like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah. Wait, we did just get some water from the ocean.
Yeah.
Well, that's the
Like
thing
you got
too.
plenty
is
of water. Go get it.
this group that was so for the masking mandates and all the
Mm-hmm.
other bullshit that came with COVID are the same individuals that want to keep illegals in
Yes.
the country.
Yes, exactly the same people.
Are the same
hate
individuals
party
want these
line.
illegals to be able to vote.
Yes, and just like
Yeah,
I
weird.
think
They
the
were all
past
going
day
to-
or so, they've been trying to push in Washington D.C., trying to push to make it legal for illegals to. Well, obviously, it's not going to fucking pass, but still, the fact that they're even trying is
Yeah,
ridiculous.
you don't have to be a citizen in order to vote in our elections.
Yeah.
That's fucking ridiculous.
That's
Well,
insanity.
We're doing that with everything now, though. We're going. You don't have to be a citizen to own shit around a military base.
Yeah,
You know, it's like
like what they were doing with the Chinese. were
Yeah.
doing, yeah.
it's insane.
The whole world got crazy.
We're just allowing people in for fucking and to no. You got money. You can own half this country. That's
Yeah.
fine.
No, it's totally ridiculous, and the fact is, it's all coming from one side side of the political divide, and everybody knows who it is. And
Who is it, Kevin? Say it.
It's the
Say his name.
Democrats.
Oh, I thought he was gonna say the blacks.
It's going to be even better.
but
He's going to use the hard R as well. It's like, oh
but-
shit, Kevin did it.
But you know what?
He finally fucking did it.
Well,
But you know,
goodbye, YouTube.
But
Damn.
I was watching, and they've been doing all these polls and stuff, and now apparently the legal immigrants who have come over here are all against the.
Yeah, they always
the
have
illegal
been.
immigrants.
Yeah.
They're all
Ameri-
like, get them
yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Like, we worked our asses off to get here. We went through the legal process. These people are making making us all look bad.
Even the Cubans that came here on the rule that if you get 1 foot on, shore, you're legally here.
Yeah.
Even those people are like, no. I had to fucking swim across the ocean.
Exactly.
Well, and almost died of sharks.
Yes.
And on top of that, it's not just the citizens that are already here that gained and earned their citizenships. It's the ones that are waiting.
Yes,
Yeah.
those are the ones probably even more pissed.
Could you
than
imagine
anything.
how frustrating that would be to
Oh,
find these groups of people that
absolutely.
you're potentially trying to get away from
Yeah.
Yeah.
are just going right over to the country that
Mm-hmm.
you want to be in
Well, and on top of
Yeah.
it,
legally.
I think
you
that
know?
It's crazy.
the stats for sexual abuse on the way here
Oh,
for women
God.
and children
It's
is in the
insane.
90
Yeah.
It's
percentile.
not right.
and not
dude.
just sexual
90%.
abuse, but also murders.
Yeah.
But I'm just talking about just on the sexual
Oh, for
abuse
sure.
side.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And
There's-
you're right. The murder's crazy
Yeah.
too, but
Well, you got to pay your dues somehow.
There's
Those coyotes don't come cheap.
So at the
They come a lot.
Yeah.
as much
So-
as they can.
So
Yeah.
at the Mexican border, the cartels apparently there's this place that's so infamous. They call it the rape tree,
Jesus.
where the cartels literally bring women.
I think
and
you have to
others
call
there
it
to
grape
rape them.
tree.
Oh,
Kevin. Grape.
tree. My apologies, YouTube censors. But also they were there's people that go down there, and they said that they've literally found mass just graves of just people just
Yeah.
buried in shallow graves down there.
Well,
I
there-
mean, tons of them.
I remember there was that grave they found on that farm. That was probably 10 years ago, just across the border, and it was like 150 people
Jesus.
in one
My
mass grave.
God.
God,
man.
dude.
And I
So
think it was
crazy.
one of those where take your money, we'll get you across. Fuck it, we're not even gonna do that.
And then
Yeah,
just
it's
kill
too
them.
it's a
risky.
lot
Yeah.
cheaper to give you lead.
Yeah. It's true.
Yeah, bullets are cheap.
They're
Let
not.
me get
but-
Well-
my nut first, and then.
Probably
Yeah.
cheaper than going through all the other crap.
What
getting them
was it?
across. and all that.
3,500
Like
missing children that have come over the border or unaccounted for
Yeah.
since
I think it was-
Biden started?
I think it's more than that. I think it was like 100,000.
It's an insane amount of
Well,
children that
and
are just
it was
gone.
some
What's
crazy
even
number.
crazier is that the Bidens, their setup at the border for kids and stuff, they were literally giving them to people over.
It was
over
just
here.
his hairy legs.
And,
I'm his uncle. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Exactly.
There you go.
And it turned out these were all a lot of them were human traffickers.
Yep.
And many of them, the Biden administration knew who they were and still gave these kids over to them.
Why is the question?
Yeah. Like, what the hell was? What the fuck?
They
Well,
don't
that
want to
begs
look
the question.
Entire
racist.
administration
Biden didn't
was
even know he was doing
insane.
it.
No, that might have been the reason that he did it.
Yeah, he didn't
Yeah.
even know
Because he was just
doing
like,
it.
Yeah.
what? Yeah,
I like kids.
bring the kids.
Oh, we also had
Oh, you're his uncle? I'm his Uncle Bob.
Yeah.
You're like, what? You're crazy, dude.
also remember that
Poor kids are
Kamala
just as
Harris
bright and just
was
as
the
talented.
border czar at that point.
No,
and
she
during
wasn't,
that-
according
Yeah.
to CNN and
According
the other
to
places.
CNN,
The
yes.
flip flop
for
on that was
months.
insane,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
For
Even though there's
absolutely insane.
The problem with these mainstream media corporations is that they don't seem to realize that things on the internet are basically forever, and
Yeah.
all we have to do is look this shit up, and we can see them all. Her talking about,
Okay.
oh, she's the border czar.
Yeah,
To
it's
counter-
nice when people bring
to-
receipts, isn't it?
Yeah.
To counter your point, most people don't fucking do that
No, they
and
don't.
believe whatever narrative's out there now.
Yeah.
There's still tons of people that believe Russiagate
Oh, I agree.
is still
Yeah.
Well,
that
we were
100% happened.
We
They
were just
memory
talking
hole
about
shit.
it, the Rittenhouse thing that people
Yeah.
honestly believe that he
Still-
shot black people.
Yeah, even
Because
though
they-
there's fucking videos showing what actually
because
happened.
the narrative kept saying these things.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not coming out directly and saying he shot black people, but Black Lives Matter protest where he shot people.
Yeah.
What do you think? You know, when people are going to, oh, black people, black people.
Yeah, a lot of wordsmithing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In order to get that narrative pushed
Yeah.
across. That's what's so crazy about the media now is that they can really push a lot of bad information.
They
Absolutely.
do.
They
Like
do
the
all
idea
the
that
time,
they're
every
they're
day.
sending trans to concentration camps.
Oh God, I heard that one.
that's still
insane.
that's still people still
I
believe
just-
that that's something that's going on. Like, well,
It's
no, they're actually
mind-blowing.
there
That's
really is.
happening.
That's happening. Yeah,
It's there. I've seen him.
and that's you ask them. It's like, where did you read that? I'd like to know more. Well, you can look it up yourself.
It's
I'm
just
like,
known.
no, I'm not going to fucking look it up.
Yeah.
Tell me
Yeah.
where you found it because I need to know where this information you're getting it from because I don't buy it. And I'm not certainly going to believe it because it's coming out of your mouth, especially if you got blue hair and
It's all
several
information.
piercings all over
Fucking
your face.
Yeah.
Dylan Mulvaney.
Oh God, man, that dude.
But it's insane how much bad information is out
Thomas.
there that when there's actual proof against the fact
Yeah.
or against their fact,
Well,
they still
well,
won't believe it.
This is what Yuri Bezmenov said. Yuri Bezmenov, remember we watched
There's
his
no
video?
truth.
Yeah.
And he
Yeah.
said basically you
Yeah.
could literally you could tell the people, hey, there's concentration camps with the Jews, that they're killing Jews. You could take them to the concentration camps and they still would not believe it, what their eyes are showing them, because they have
These
been
are all
lied
paid
to.
actors.
the same exact thing
yeah,
that
exactly.
happened with Trump. It's still going on where people are going, well, you said that there were fine people on both
Oh
sides.
my goodness!
Oh yes, this.
Yeah, if you
yes.
only took out that small piece
Uh-huh, and-
before the part where he says, not the neo-Nazis,
Yeah,
not
they need
them.
to be
They're-
condemned completely.
Who was
yeah.
it? That guy that the guy Adam knows everything.
Adam
Yeah.
Conover.
Yeah, where he was actually called out on that.
He
So
was on
he-
Timcast.
yeah,
Tim,
that's what it
Tim
was,
Pool,
Timcast, and they actually he said no. They said this other thing,
Mm-hmm.
and even after shown that, Adam just still rolled his eyes like, well, that's
well, I don't like him.
yeah,
Yeah.
It's basically
Yeah.
what it is.
and he'll still probably later stick by that
Of
point.
course.
Oh, I'm sure he
Obama
would,
said it on the fucking campaign trail, but before
Yeah. Uh-huh.
this fucking election was over.
Biden said it
After knowing.
too. Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
but Biden, it's hard to.
Yeah,
Who
his
the fuck-
brain
We're
was
gonna have to
melting.
give that guy a pass. Huh?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
hate to
yeah.
think of it. We might actually have to give that old
He's got
fart a
stage
pass.
4 cancer in his brain.
And his
I mean,
brain,
he's done.
And remember that guy? They did that cognitive evaluation on him, and the guy said that he was too out of it to even
Be
fucking
prosecuted?
prosecuted.
Yeah.
It's
It's a senile old man. There's no sense in prosecuting this person. That's the fucking president.
what the fuck happened to our country? Like,
People elected him after knowing that he was showing these signs during the campaign.
Yeah, they're gonna hide it.
yeah,
And it was insane.
it was so obvious to everybody for like 4 or 5 years. I mean, people were talking about
We were talking about it
his
during the
problems.
campaign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
Not
of
on the
course,
show, but
No, but all kinds of news outlets were talking about it. Independent, right
I
leaning.
was gonna say mostly not
not
mainstream.
mainstream. No, they were all covering for him, going like, oh well, he has a stutter.
We've got our good days and our bad days, and he's just having a bad day.
There's that one really famous clip of what's his name? Tapper, Jake Tapper.
Yeah,
he was yelling at Laura Trump, going like, "Oh, you're just making fun of his stutter," and she's like, "No, he's obviously got cognitive problems. Like, look at him. Like, I didn't even know he
later
had a
he had
stutter."
to apologize.
Yeah,
he had to apologize
exactly.
to her for it. He actually openly did it, which shows some gumption there. At least he actually.
Yeah, but he's trying to be on the right side of
He
history
is
now.
now.
Who
That's
isn't
it.
these days? And that's what
Yeah.
people. That's what's so crazy
He wants
about
to
the
sell
riots.
books.
Yes.
Is these individuals who are rioting and protesting they believe they're on the right side of history here.
Yeah.
That's the scary thing in it. They see those Mexican flags flying. They see those Palestinian flags flying on American soil, and they think they're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
It's unnerving.
Bring up that thing that I sent you from
Because they're just
terrifying.
enjoying, a car burning,
Instagram.
and there's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that.
Oh yeah, nothing wrong.
Why
with
do we
watching
bring
a
the
car
National
burn.
Guard in
What
for
were you
just a
going-
couple
Instagram.
individuals
Instagram.
just watching a few houses burn?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like,
it's-
oh no, it's just a show, guys.
It's
Like,
absurd.
it doesn't matter that person's entire livelihood, their home is gone. It doesn't matter.
Well,
It's
and
just,
people keep saying, like, well, insurance will just pay him off. It's like, no,
Yeah.
they won't.
Yeah,
Not
we're
the
doing
whole
them a
thing.
favor.
There's no
It's like,
way.
Go fuck yourself. What favor are you
Now,
talking about?
the bottom one.
one
It's
here?
just this is just AI, but this is exactly what's going on.
Again, this is AI. This is not a real
Yeah.
video. We need to, because it's just getting too fucking good.
Place I don't want to be sent back
Let
to.
it play through again. But
While I'm destroying the place I don't want to leave, I'm flying the flag of the place I don't want to be sent back to. While I'm destroying the place I don't want to leave,
That's a
I'm
this
flying
is
the flag.
100% what's
Yeah,
happening.
that
It's the
is
same.
absolutely
It's the
what's
same
happening.
thing during the George Floyd riots where they were destroying like black neighborhoods. It
Yeah.
was like, what the
Yeah.
fuck are you guys doing? Black Lives Matter.
Black-owned
Destroy
businesses.
the black. It doesn't make
You
sense.
get a black person on screen saying, "What the fuck are these people thinking? This is my livelihood that was taken from me, and for what?
because they needed shoes.
An addict,
Yeah.
an addict that died from an overdose."
And it's. I saw this other video where all these people are, they're all chanting, like, oh, what are we doing? What do we want?
God,
And all
I
this-
can't stand
And the thing is, when
protest chants.
the guy goes, what do we want? And you hear everybody
Slavery.
silent. Like, they don't even know why they're
Yeah.
there, They're
Chaos.
just out there
Anarchy.
because people are out there, so
Yeah.
they go out there too.
See, I don't know,
Well, because a
man.
lot of them are paid.
This
I think
ki-
there's a lot that are paid, but there's also just people that get into it because they're like, oh, things are happening. I want to be involved.
Yeah.
See, I have friends that think that this is a whole fucking that there's going to be a Black Swan event during this whole Kings thing.
What's that?
I would not.
Black
be
Swan event
surprised.
is
Yeah.
it's an event that is to
Natalie
culminate.
Portman eating out another chick? Because I'm
No.
all for it.
No, it's an event like the Gulf of Tonkin essentially was kind of a Black Swan.
I'm on.
You don't know what the
So-
Gulf of Tonkin is.
Not
It's
a
like one
clue.
of the biggest conspiracies in history that was true.
Let's go down the rabbit hole, man.
The Gulf of Tonkin started Vietnam. It started the war for us.
Okay, carry on. Because what
So-
the fuck is Vietnam?
So, oh man, I'm gonna have to Ken Burns this whole thing for you.
Here we go.
But so the way the Gulf of Tonkin started, we had a ship in the Gulf of Tonkin, and it got attacked, which is the whole reason we fucking went into Vietnam to fight. It never got attacked.
Oh.
We attacked it. We did the attacking on our own ship.
By mistake or
No.
It was to start the
to
war.
make it look
Yeah,
like?
yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, even the CIA
Basically-
during what was it during the Cold War wanted to blow up planes over the
Yes.
U.S. to make it look like
yes.
Cuba did it.
And they almost did it too.
It got all the way up to JFK,
Yeah,
who said
yeah.
"fuck no,"
Yeah.
which is why he's dead.
So a Black Swan event is essentially it's something that is caused on purpose.
A sacrificial
to-
lamb.
It's a false flag,
It's a
essentially.
false flag that's usually caused by the government itself that wants to trigger something. You know, trigger a war.
We can
Reason
find the
why, like for
direct-
instance, if
direct
we
reason.
like if for instance Pearl Harbor, if we on purpose did Pearl Harbor to ourselves instead the Japanese did it, that would be a Black Swan.
I got
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you could say that pretty much about anything that's been
Yeah.
started.
Yeah. And it's
So
but-
a Black Swan event is a highly improbable event with significant consequences, often characterized by being unexpected, having a large impact, and being rationalized in hindsight as predictable, according to Nassim Taleb's Black Swan theory. These events are difficult to foresee and can disrupt established systems, industries, or even entire economies. So, yeah, they're basically it's a big event.
9/11.
Yeah,
9/11
things like
yeah.
that. Like 9/11, I mean, you could potentially, I mean, I guess you can consider it because I don't think it has to be a false flag.
No, I guess it doesn't have to be a false
So
flag.
it can be on the level of a false flag.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, I have friends though that think that this is what's happening right now. That this is the powder keg that they've put out there, and they're like, all we need is the spark.
Yeah.
We just need that first shot heard around the world.
Oh, I believe it.
You know?
Yeah, okay.
And-
Especially with the whole racial war
Yes.
thing and the tensions with that. And
And then this starts, you know, civil unrest to a point to where it's close to civil war or civil war.
Oh.
And then they can bring in, you know, National Guard and lock everything down.
martial law.
Martial
Well,
law.
and the thing is, too, all this crap's been simmering for years now, and
about
and
8.5,
yeah,
9.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
Floyd
it's-
didn't get it up enough, so
Yeah.
the next one's going to
It was
Well, it was
almost
the fentanyl.
there.
That's why he couldn't get it up enough.
It tends to do that every now and
Yeah,
then.
unfortunately,
Old
fentanyl.
limp dick over there couldn't quite finish the
obviously-
job.
That's why he punched that pregnant lady.
But it's obvious that one
Jealousy.
side is pushing for this. They've always been doing it. They've been, at least since all this crap's been going on for like
You think
8 or 7 years.
Democrats are all for chaos in order to get better
Absolutely.
control?
Absolutely.
Huh.
I do.
I think it's a very specific sect of it.
yeah.
You know, it's
And I also think that like the far leftists and
It's
stuff,
the young ideologues.
They want
I can
the
see that.
ideologues. They
The
want
college
a
students.
reason to get out there in force, and this is just one of those things. You know, that's why the whole George Floyd thing happened. That's why, you know, this is happening now. It's like they use excuses to go out and cause havoc.
How privileged are we to be able to be so privileged that we need to make shit up in order
no.
to
We've
have-
been making
Yeah.
shit up for a long time.
That's
to do
fucking
that.
wild,
We
dude.
did that
We
with
create
Countries are going
problems.
hungry.
we
Yeah,
know, we make shit up.
exactly.
We go, you're a girl now,
Yeah.
and now we're gonna fight for your rights.
Fucking
Yeah.
awesome are we? We're
Yeah.
really badass as Americans. I have
Yeah.
to say.
No.
That's pretty fucking cool of us.
I mean,
It does
look,
show how
we-
privileged we.
That's
we
what I'm
fucking
saying.
Are,
We
man.
do
It
that.
really does.
We do that with our television shows. Survivor.
yeah.
You're gonna survive in a place people live.
Yeah.
And you're like, wait, they already live here. But what we're
But
gonna
you
do is
don't.
give you a challenge.
It's like
You don't have a hut. Okay, you have a hut, and you have a camera crew and medical staff and fucking food.
Yeah,
you
something
know, in
goes
between.
sour. We're still here to help.
Yeah.
we're on a
It's
private
insane.
beach in Hawaii.
Yeah, that's
It's insane.
that's
But
how
yes.
privileged we are. That
Yeah.
we make up shit. We make shit like this up in order to have civil
Yeah.
unrest
Well, and
because we're that fucking bored.
the thing I don't
That's
get
exactly
too is
right.
like people are like, well, just let everybody in. It's so in the
No, god
in-
damn it, no.
in the 80s and 90s, it was the Republican side saying, "Hey, let them in," and the reason being was because undocumented workers are a lot cheaper, right?
Yeah.
That's an argument they're having right
That-
now.
Well,
Who's
that
above
that
business?
that was the Republican reasoning behind. Now
Yeah.
they didn't say that out loud
course
because
not.
you can't say that out loud. And the Democrats were the ones going, no, we need to have strong borders and everything. I mean, there's fucking
everything's
speeches
just
from
flipped.
Bill Clinton.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bill Clinton saying we need strong borders. And now he's probably going, we don't need borders.
Yeah. So
Where's my
because-
prostitutes?
And the thing
Yeah.
is, too, what's crazy?
Ariana Grande.
What's crazy is that the things that Trump is pushing for and trying to accomplish is literally the kind of stuff that the Democrats were pushing for in the 90s.
Yeah.
I
And
mean,
it's written into fucking law.
yes.
And he's just
Yeah.
enforcing it.
Yeah, and
As he should,
Let's
as
not
he
forget,
promised.
Obama was called the deporter in chief.
Yes.
he deported, what was it, like 30 million
Still,
people?
yeah,
We had-
still number one in that
Yes.
field.
We had months under Obama where we had negative numbers coming
the
in.
Democrats didn't bitch about it.
No.
then. There weren't riots in the streets. Like
No, we had negative fucking numbers coming in.
it's just so crazy.
And a lot of guns going out under that one thing that they did.
Was it Fast and Furious?
Yes, it
Yeah,
was.
Wasn't
yeah,
also
yeah.
like a giant crate of fucking cash, or a couple pallets
I
of
would,
cash.
I would assume there's got to be a bunch
I know,
of cash
I know
involved.
something about Obama sending pallets of cash out.
Oh, I wouldn't be
I know that
surprised.
some of those went to Afghanistan.
Yeah, that's what
I
it
mean,
was.
we had a pallet of like over $1 billion just in cash on a pallet
Well,
or not a billion. It was probably hundreds of millions or something like that. And then it just went away.
Yeah, and one of the reasons why we stuck around in Afghanistan for so long was the heroin that we were growing there.
It's good stuff, isn't it? Heroin. Yeah, I'm right there for you.
Here's
Heroin.
another crazy thing. This is
Fucking A.
why
Drugs.
this is why conspiracy theorists have the fuel. You know, I mean, the jet fuel, I guess. But I mean, literally.
Steel beams.
Well, literally, the day before 9/11 happens, you got Donald Rumsfeld coming out and saying, we don't know where the $2 billion went at the Pentagon. We just found that it's missing.
yeah.
And then all of a sudden, the Pentagon gets
Kablooey.
hit.
Yeah.
It gets,
All the records were destroyed.
well, I was going to say, it gets hit in the fucking wing of the Pentagon that has the records.
That all the computers were moved to the day prior.
No,
And you
they
know
had
what?
fucking paper records still.
You know what? Since then,
All burnt.
the money that that has been disappearing from the Pentagon has only just exceeded those numbers,
Yes.
like astronomically.
Well,
It's all fake
what was
news.
it? Elon
It's
saying
phony stuff.
Elon saying that
didn't
there's
happen.
so much money in black budgets that it's insane. Like that you cannot trace the money where it is.
Yeah,
Like I think he was saying like trillions.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Trillions.
Yeah.
Trillions of
I mean-
everyone's future.
just the Pentagon itself, it's like a black hole that's been sucking up trillions of dollars for years, and nobody knows where the hell it's gone.
Did you say it was like your mom's vagina?
That's exactly what I said.
That's a very good comparison.
Sucking up everything.
Just-
Hey, it's a gravity
sucking
well.
it
She's
all
a fucking
in.
Hoover going through.
Goddamn black hole.
Supermassive black hole.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, Kevin, that's your mother.
I was a big child.
But the gravity just couldn't pull you back.
No.
And that's why he's gay now.
Wait, gravity?
What?
Is that? It's because of gravity?
No, I was saying because you didn't want pussy. But anyway,
What was that?
why do you hate the 3-body problem? You haven't even watched it. Watch the fucking
Oh
show.
my God, no, I love the book. I don't give a fuck about the show because Hollywood ruins everything.
God,
They
such a
really did fuck
naysayer.
up
They
the
ruin
second,
every
the second
adaptation
season
they
of
do.
The Last of Us.
Last of Us. Yeah, that was terrible. And I don't even know the video game.
No,
It
if
was
you
awful.
I heard
played
it was
if you
terrible.
played the
It
game,
was-
you would know that like that's pretty close to how it went. It's not 100%, but it's pretty close.
I will say the pregnant scene was like what brought me back. I'm like, oh, that's fucked up.
What?
That's really fucked up.
that.
Well, she had 3 kills in one shot.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no, abortion's illegal in the future. So you got to watch out. You
during
can't do
the
that. She was like, "Oh
apocalypse?
no, I killed a baby. Now I can't be a person."
I was like, ooh, this is getting good. Finally,
Yeah.
I needed something,
And
and
actually,
that was it.
the scene in the game is actually better than that.
Is it?
Yeah, it was better than that. I mean, it's similar, but it was still better than that.
Yeah, the corny
I think it had
scenes
more
with
emotion.
with the guitar sitting in the scenic area and playing music. I'm like, come on.
They took that also straight from the game.
Yeah, then I saw the same snippets from video games. Like, yeah, you had to play that part, but
What-
still, it's like, golly, that's just so fucking corny.
One of the coolest things from the game was that you could actually go and play the guitar.
Yeah.
And people actually fucking put out cover songs.
Really?
Yes,
Yeah.
tons of them.
that's pretty
the
cool.
videos
Tons of them, like-
I've been seeing of it.
like
That's
5,
pretty cool.
10 minutes worth of like 7 songs.
Well, I
Like, they
guess
did
the
one.
PlayStation has like a touchpad on the controller or something like that.
Yeah,
and
that's
how
what
they
they
would.
did.
Yeah,
That's how
they'd
you
use
play
the
it.
touch
So,
play.
so you switch with your R and L pads, and then between chords and shit, and then
Yeah.
on the fucking actual touchpad, you could, and you had to do it by feel, but you had to find which string you wanted to hit,
Yeah.
or you could do the entire chord. So like people actually would come in and play like fairly complicated songs, which
Wow.
is insane.
was a fucking
pretty cool.
PlayStation controller.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, it was pretty inventive.
That's what nerds do.
Yeah, nerds. Kevin,
But
I'm
yeah-
surprised you don't have a song off of there.
But no, like I love the 3-body problem book. There's 3 of them. I only read the first one. I own the first one. But
Was one of the books just too unstable to stay?
No, I just
Is that
didn't-
why you
I
didn't
hadn't-
read it?
No, I hadn't
His
bought
mom-
the
It
second
fucking-
and third ones yet.
It hit the gravity and just got shot off into space.
Yeah.
No,
But no, the book is fantastic, and I've seen the trailer for the show, and just from the trailer I can tell they fucked it up.
you can't until you actually watch it.
I watched the trailer.
You
I've
can
read the
ass-
book.
no,
they
you can-
fucked it up.
You can assume they fucked it up, and that's fine.
No, I don't. The things I saw in the trailer
I will fucking fight
showed
you.
me they fucked it up.
You can say that,
And
but
everybody that's read the books have also said that they did not like the show because they fucked it up.
Okay, but I just disagree with you that
Well, you've never read the book.
you've never seen the fucking show.
I don't have to. I've read the book.
See, I can make the same argument back. I don't have to. I watched the show. Fuck you and your book.
The show is
Hey, guess what, nerd? I don't fucking read.
a
Donnie, you're out of your
pathetic
element.
You
Donnie,
fucking
you're
piece
out
of
your
shit.
use for a
Donnie,
fucking
please, shut the fuck
adaptation.
up.
Look, I like the
Shut
fact that
fuck
they
up,
actually
Donnie.
use
Donnie,
quantum
shut the-
physics
When do we
Yeah,
play?
they do.
Shut the fuck up, Donnie.
to build a computer that's the size of a proton. 2 of them. Actually, they built, 8 and then made it into 4? I think it was
don't remember
that.
exactly.
I think they built 8 and then made it into 4. So they had 2 on Earth, 2 out on their planet, and they could instantly talk to us. Look, if you understand anything about quantum physics and the quantum entanglement, where you can have what is it, a proton? I think, or does it have to be a proton, or is it other thing? Electron. I think electrons
I think
also.
it could be electron as well.
So you could have an electron that's
basically any kind of particle.
that's quantum entangled with an electron over here, and it information will pass between them instantaneously no matter where they are. So if that electron's here and the other electron's on fucking a sun 400,000 light years from here, instantaneously what this one does, that one will do too.
Which we were talking
It's
about.
insane.
We were talking about this
Quantum
on one
physics
of the
is nuts.
previous shows where we were talking about communication, being able
They
to
did it
talk,
in New York, didn't they?
talk between like
Yeah, they did something like
We
that.
talked
Yeah,
about
yeah,
it on
yeah.
the show.
yeah,
that-
where you can talk basically. There'd be like say if you were on Mars and on Earth, mission
just say the
control would be
moon.
able to talk to Mars or the moon.
'Cause the moon's what-
instantly. There'd be no delay.
The moon,
you know?
the moon is roughly 8 seconds of communication gap, right? 4 seconds to get there, 4 seconds to get back. So if you had a conversation with somebody on the moon, it would take you 8 seconds to respond to what they're saying, right? And then they would take 8 seconds to respond to what you say.
Yeah.
Well, with this, if
They're
you
being-
could get the communication to work, you could talk instantly
Yeah,
and
they're-
never have any
no
delay.
It'd be like they were on the phone with you.
I mean, that would revolutionize. Like, we wouldn't need phones anymore.
No.
You just have this thing that you just push a button and be like, I want to talk to this
no,
person.
you put it in Elon's Neuralink.
Oh, that is actually one of the things that they're
Boom.
potentially going to
Yeah.
think of.
Then
It-
you could just talk to
with
somebody.
that, you would know all the information
Yeah.
instantly.
Yeah.
Yep. You'd have all the information to be able to
Um,
communicate with anybody, anyone at any
dude,
time.
It'd be fucking insane.
That is like moving towards like the whole Matrix, jacking shit in, and
Yeah.
like and then
or
and-
jacking shit off.
Oh, that too.
Ooh, Now we're talking.
But
Yeah.
like
Now
I know
we're
kung
talking.
fu. Learn all
Instantaneous
learn
coming.
master kung fu in a matter of seconds.
You'll
just
never
plugging
master
it in.
kung fu.
The idea.
You'll
of
never do it, Kevin.
I don't
It's
want
never.
to.
Oh, yeah, you do.
I'll
Because I
bet
can
there
see
will
you.
be a way where it does that.
Load me up.
It actually like
Do it again.
defines your muscles and shit like that, and you can actually have your body conditioned.
Well, we're
better.
already living in a simulation, so we don't need that.
It's a good. Well,
Yeah.
the simulation sucks.
It sucks, dude. It really does.
They need to fix some things.
Yeah, like why give
yeah,
me
like-
back problems?
Like,
Give
that's
me
what
a
I'm saying. is my
debug
shoulders
mode.
really bother me.
It's fucking
ridiculous.
No, dude, my knee, man. Make this shit stop hurting.
Yeah.
Neuralink will do it. Our Jesus will take care of us.
Wouldn't that be weird if we found out
All
Elon was
praise
actually
Elon Musk.
just one of the workers, and that's why he's in here? Like he's in the simulation.
Oh, he's actually like
he's just
one
a
of-
worker.
We just got lost.
Yeah,
No,
no,
he's
He's
no,
cleaning
just,
an office.
He's a
and
tech
just,
support
yeah,
guy.
he's a
working
tech
there,
support
yeah.
guy. He's just trying to help us
it's
with
a
our
Tron
tech.
situation
Yeah.
where he accidentally got shot by the laser and zapped into this
Or like in
simulation.
or in like online games, you know how they have like GMs, like there'll be like a developer that's in there and
Yeah.
like and fixing.
We have that with
glitches and other shit.
Gray Zone Warfare.
Yeah.
Like the developers will be playing with.
Dude,
some
yeah,
of us too.
they've had them for years on like things like WoW and all that kind
Yeah.
of stuff. You know,
All of them. All of those. have
yeah,
it.
all those online ones they have like developers or players that have been given like certain abilities within the game to be able to help people. Like you get stuck in a wall. Oh, let me get you out of that wall. There,
Yeah,
buddy,
that's
you
why
know?
we have Elon. He's our tech support guy that's in here to help
Yeah,
us out.
yeah.
He's trying to find
He-
bugs in the system.
He can pull us out of walls when we get stuck.
Well, he did. That feud that he had with Trump. He actually.
It's pretty insane.
Yeah, it's like that got
Bring up his
that got
tweet.
heated fast, didn't it?
The memes that came out of that were fucking great. My favorite was the two of him and Trump arguing, and then it had J.D. Vance all emoed out.
Dude,
I said that to my daughter, and she's go, "Oh yay! Now he gets 2 Christmases."
even JD Vance, he's looked at a lot of the memes and he laughs at
Yeah,
them.
they're
He's like,
fucking hilarious.
he's like, dude, I can't say anything bad about it. He's like, they nailed who I look like. It's like, what are you gonna do?
So I
He at least
guy-linered and fucking.
Yes,
hair and
it's
shit.
always the guy liner. He's
fucking
like,
hilarious.
always emo.
Apparently now they're cool again.
Yeah, no, he apologized.
Yeah.
Well, that's because it was all a big fucking hoax. It was basically them just trolling us.
That could have been,
Some
because Elon
people-
would.
so-
I don't know if Trump would do the same.
Well,
I'm sure
some
Trump
people-
would,
Elon 100%.
Trump would get on board
There's
just
some-
because he's
well,
the
no,
Yeah,
type.
some
I
people
could
think it was a strategy to get like the Democrats to push for like the release the Epstein files and other shit like that.
Here's the other
I
thing
don't
that
be
I think.
surprised.
Here's the other thing that I think though. Like I could see Elon going, just fucking go with it. Just go with it. Look, what? Don't get mad.
Actually, come back at me.
Check out what I posted on X. He's like, you mean Twitter? No, X. I bought it. I fucking bought it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna see if I can find.
but
that
I
one.
loved how much. I mean, again, this could have been a huge distraction for something, as typically these situations are.
No, this is their Black Swan event.
But it was good stuff. But yeah, Elon's recently just reeled back a lot of it. He's like, I regret a lot of the things that I said, but
yeah,
not
so
all
like
of it.
right here, he's like, without me, Trump would have lost the election. Dems would control the House, and the Republicans would be 51-49 in the
Get him.
Senate.
He's just
Such ingratitude.
Getting so fucking petty. I love it. I love it. That's so fucking awesome. You know, Trump was boiling from that. I was like, how dare he?
yeah.
I'm going to get on the machine right now. Someone bring me the machine, the typing machine. I got to talk back
Here's
to
the
him.
weird thing. Like literally 2 days ago, he started posting things that Trump was posting on Trump Social or Truth Social or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So like at least 2 days ago, he was cool with him, or at least cooler.
Yeah, there was like, I think there was one post that said, things would be a lot better if these two got along, and Elon later, reposted it and said, "You're not wrong."
Yeah. Here's another one. Real Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. That is the real reason they have not been made public. Have a nice day.
This is definitely a fucking troll job.
Yeah.
Dude.
Well-
There's no fucking way.
Do you know what it
Time
really,
to drop the really big bomb, he says.
Do you know what it really could be? So you know how the media has been kind of playing it up, saying that they weren't getting along. That's why Elon was leaving Doge and all this shit. Maybe they're like, well, fine, let's give them what they want.
Why not?
Let's give them what they want. They can run with this fucking in the
Maybe.
news so we can get our jobs done.
That could that's what I mean. Is a lot of this could be just a big troll job, or just a couple of rich people getting really bored.
Yeah, I mean, it could be.
It could be as simple as that. Just some fucking billionaires like, you know what? I'm feeling a little frisky. Let's go a little crazy and see what happens. Because Elon, it's not above Elon to do stuff like that, especially when it comes to the stock market. Like, he'll throw weird shit out to the stock market, say, I'm really looking forward to this stock, and watch it go crazy just because of a tweet.
Oh, he did that with Doge over and
That's
over
what
and
I
over.
mean. A lot of stuff that it was him just trolling, just to see how much power he could project into the world.
And the whole
Through
thing
words.
was that he did not like some of the stuff that the big, beautiful bill.
A lot
one
of
the big,
people
beautiful
don't.
bill.
That's just it.
You know,
Some of the things in that bill is fucking ridiculous. And it's
Yeah.
going to cost us eventually even more money than we, quote unquote, saved with Doge.
I mean, I
They're
think
saying-
out specifics.
maybe.
Well, they're saying that after 10 years, we'll be even more trillions into debt because of the way
Who's saying that though?
both Republicans and Democrats are saying, but the way the tax bills are set up. Now, they did prolong the tax breaks they had going for the first time that were supposed to end.
Yeah.
Like, I think this month or next month, they prolonged that. But they're saying it had something to do with, I can't even remember off the top of my head, damn it. But ultimately, the way that the tax bills were set up, they weren't set to reset or something like
Yeah,
that.
they always have a sunset.
Yeah, and after that sunset, Trump won't be in power anymore.
Yeah.
At that time, so they're just saying within 10 years or so, we'll be even more trillions and further in debt.
I can't wait.
Because they said something about the pork in the. I don't know what that means. The pork in the
so
bill.
the pork is
Pork
basically
barrel.
pork
Yeah.
barrel spending and stuff.
it's stuff
basically-
added in after the bill is already
Yeah.
basically become a bill, and they put that stuff
It's
in there
shit
for
they
two
just
reasons.
throw in there.
One, they put that in there because nobody reads them, and they're just going to sign off
Right.
on the rest of the stuff they already know. And two, they'll put in stuff that's so crazy that you have to vote against this.
Yeah.
Because it's so crazy. And now you look like the asshole because you voted against something, and you're voting against it because of this thing that says, no, Al-Qaeda can run the fucking...
We can eat children now.
Yeah. No,
Well, and see, that's what a lot of those
Abortion at
those-
18.
Well, that's what a lot of those omnibus bills are. Is that they're like 1,000-page bills that nobody can read in time, and because they'll put them out.
That's one of the reasons they do things at midnight.
Yeah, exactly. So that nobody has a chance to read them, and they're
That's
like,
so
"Oh,
fucking
well,
wild, dude.
if
Yeah,
you
no, it's a
vote
corrupt
against
system.
this bill, because they're like, oh, well, this is going to save puppies in like fucking Bratislava or whatever,
Or they'll
like,
name
what,
it
you,
something
you
like
hate the puppies,
Save
you're
the
not gonna
Puppies
sign
Bill.
it? Yeah,
And it's actually just a bill to fucking like butcher children.
yeah, exactly. And they put all this insane shit in there, and of course nobody can fucking read it because they don't have enough time. And so it's like it forces these Congress people to like make a decision and vote on something that they really have no clue exactly what they're voting on. You
Well,
know?
I've also seen how they vote too. Like
Oh,
the
yeah.
person reaching over and grabbing their neighbors who's not there, pushing their vote yes or no on it.
Oh yeah, they even have their like lackeys, their
Yeah.
assistants go in and
Pages.
do it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Their pages.
exactly.
Yeah.
Their pages,
A lot of
and
that
they'll
Congress
go
shit
in
is
and they'll
bullshit.
vote for them and shit. And it's like, dude, a lot of these Congress people spend so little time actually doing.
most
their
of the time
fucking
is
jobs. Most
spent-
of the time they're fundraising.
It's fundraising.
Yeah.
It's
Strip clubs.
stumping. It's
Yes,
stumping.
Yes,
is what it is.
Exactly.
No, but you talking about rich people doing fucking crazy shit?
Yeah.
Do you know who James Jameson is?
Doesn't ring a bell.
One of the heirs
No.
to the Jameson,
Oh,
whiskey.
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
He
I like me
bought
some
he
Jameson.
bought a girl just to watch her be eaten by cannibals about 130 years ago.
Oh, that long ago? Okay. So that
Wow.
was,
Still pretty fucking wild.
yeah, that's
To
that's,
have-
that's
to
called
see her-
money.
That is money.
Wow.
But yeah, he bought a girl
Just
in
because he was curious to
the
see what
in
it
the
was like.
1880. Oh wow, 10 years old. Ugh.
She was
It's
10.
even worse. Yeah.
Was she like terminal or
Oh.
anything like that?
Probably
Or-
not.
I mean, yeah, she was about to be eaten.
Yeah,
that's a terminal
that's pretty
disease.
terminal,
The family's
yeah.
like, okay, yeah, you can have her.
No, but he
Man.
bought her, and then wrote about how it being the worst experience of his life. Like, what did he expect it to be?
I mean, you want
This
a
is terrible.
child
what?
to be
I thought
eaten
this was going to be
alive.
delightful.
Drinking whiskey and just, oh,
I
awful.
thought I'd remember this day for all time as one of my most amazing.
Yeah, no,
beautiful
you remembered it
moments.
for all time. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
talking about
yeah,
like,
yeah, exactly.
but that's
it wasn't the eating part. It was the seeing a naked 10-year-old.
Yeah,
in
he
a
It
was
film.
like,
wasn't the eating. It
I'm
was
offended.
the sounds.
But-
I'm not a
smacking.
pedophile.
But that's the thing, though. Rich people will do fucking wild shit. Like another
Yeah.
thing, like there's
'Cause they get
rich people
bored.
that literally have said the whole. I would like to eat one of every fucking thing that's on the extinction list.
Yeah.
That's on the endangered list.
And they have diners that do
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
They actually have like restaurants that will serve.
yeah, they're like, wait, there's 3 of those left in the world. I'd like there to be 2.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're serving it up
I think
$1 million
I think people
plate.
like that need to be fucking
Well,
like hanged.
That's one
They
of the
need to be
reasons.
eaten. Is what
Yeah,
they need to
be
They
eaten.
need to be served on the
Yes.
next plate.
What
No
was the-
shit.
what was the name of the company that brought back the direwolf?
I don't remember the name
So
of the company.
anyway,
George R. Martin.
it's not.
He did it single-handedly.
I mean, he did have a hand in kind of naming them, but
him and Sean Bean.
well,
is
that's
on
one
the
of the.
board.
It's one of the reasons why they don't want to sell to anybody ever for anything is because they believe that you're gonna get a rich person that's like, I'd like to eat a woolly mammoth.
Uh-huh.
Make me a woolly mammoth.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
raise it and murder it.
You
You know,
definitely see
or
some
I have
horrible
never
shit
fucking
happening
eaten
from that.
T-Rex before. Have you?
Yeah.
The guy in Alaska actually did eat some of the woolly mammoth that they found.
Did he really?
Yeah, they found a woolly mammoth.
Beef jerky.
Well, no, it was meat that was fresh like.
They've
Which,
found
I mean,
woolly
it was-
mammoths that are quite well preserved.
Yes, this one was quite well
yeah.
preserved, and they ate the fucking meat from the woolly mammoth.
Oh, I'll bet that was expensive.
It was on his property, so it was
Oh,
whatever.
his
yeah.
to do with what he
Yeah.
wants, huh?
Dude, he's found so much shit up there. Woolly mammoths,
10-year-old
dire
children.
wolves, no
Wow.
10-year-olds. No,
10-year-old
they didn't
little
find-
girls. It's like,
didn't find-
well, I found her on my property, so
I get to eat her, right? But yeah, I mean, dude, I can't remember the dude's name, but he's found so many things. I guess him and the Smithsonian have like a big fucking. They
Deal?
don't like each other.
Oh.
No, they don't like each other because they came in and took stuff and were saying we're gonna put it up for research, and then
it
they.
belongs in a museum.
But then they
And he's
found.
like, I want to eat it.
then they found it in a river in New York.
oh,
His
no
stuff.
shit.
They just fucking tossed it because they're like, yeah, this doesn't fit our narrative
Oh,
of all these
shit.
animals existing in the same spot. Like he found animals that we've been told don't live near each other on his property.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
woolly
see,
mammoths and like
now, this
saber-toothed tigers
So
and shit.
this is one thing about like orthodoxy when it comes to like archaeology and other sciences is the fact that we're finding out now that we're discovering more and more that these people were either are wrong a lot or
Yeah.
they're intentionally keeping things quiet about
well,
certain instances
look
and information.
look at Göbekli Tepe.
Yes.
Göbekli Tepe which I forget what it means, just top a hill or something
Yeah,
like
I
that.
don't know what
It means like it sounds cool as shit, and then you
Yeah.
go, it just means top a hill.
Yeah.
But Göbekli Tepe for one, and then they found one that was older than that. Göbekli
Yes.
Tepe is like 15,000 years old.
I think it's like 12 or
Is
something.
that
Okay,
a person,
12,000.
place, or
Yeah.
thing?
It's a place.
Okay.
It's a place.
So they
yeah.
found
It's in
so
Turkey. Yeah.
so we've
fucking name is that?
we've
dude?
always been told that basically hunter gatherers we were up until essentially the pyramids,
Mesopotamia
right?
or something
Yeah.
like that.
Mesopotamia was supposedly one of the oldest civilizations. That was like
and that was
6,000 something years ago.
Yeah, and that was when we started fucking farming and not fucking hunter gatherer.
Yeah.
But we found Göbekli Tepe, which is about 12,000 years old. We
Yeah.
found another place that's older than that.
Yes.
Jerusalem.
It's
And,
like 15,000.
Yeah,
or something
that's the one
yeah.
I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
That's 15,000. And
I forget what it's
and the
called.
thing is, these places are places with have giant what is it megalith?
Yes, megalithic structures. And
so
but also,
gigantic fucking rocks
but
that are
also
like 300 feet long.
Three-dimensional carvings on pillars and things like that of like animals and stuff that aren't around anymore.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, this is like really well done stonework that hunter-gatherers should not have been able to do.
So we've been learning of this stuff, and then now these archaeologists that have been saying, well, no, it was this. This is the only way it was, are having to go, well, fuck.
Yeah, but
my
there's
whole
still-
career is based
yeah.
on this one thing.
So they're pushing
And if I'm
back.
wrong,
Yeah, and a lot of these guys are pushing back and still holding to the orthodoxy and saying like, oh, all these new finds, they're bullshit. Like these people missed, they missed dated or they don't
like
know
the
what they're
Egypt
talking
thing
about.
that recently
Yeah.
happened.
Right,
That's
right.
probably what's going on with that.
The science, the orthodoxy, they are literally like going after those guys and saying that these guys are liars and that they made up all the data and it's not true.
well,
And
it's starting to be a little split though, like at least in Egypt on like the Sphinx. There's now I don't think it's 50-50 yet, but there's more people now believing that no, the Sphinx was there before the fucking pyramids.
Yes.
There's a lot more people because for one, the head doesn't match the way that the body was
No.
made at all.
Also, another interesting one is the water erosion.
Well,
around
they're
the
saying
Sphinx.
so. This is what's his face was saying. He said, "Well, it's because it's different stone."
Oh, Zahi Hawass.
Yes.
Yeah, that guy is.
You
one
know
of the
his
biggest-
name, I
yeah,
don't.
That guy's okay. So Zahi Hawass, he is one of the most famous, probably the most famous Egyptologists.
he says he's discovered everything. There.
Almost, yeah, pretty
Good
much
for him.
almost
That's
everything in Egypt.
That's some
Yeah.
accolades right there.
Yeah.
But the thing is, though,
Takes hard
this guy has been keeping other researchers out of various places in Egypt for years. He will not let people go there because he basically has pretty much all the power.
It's a monopoly.
Yeah, and
He's a robber baron, but
yeah.
in a different age.
And there have been people that have been scientists and stuff who have been trying to get into different areas in Egypt to research. He will not let them in, and a lot of people.
He let
believe
Mr.
that there's
Beast
more-
in, which is crazy.
I know, but yeah,
It's called money.
Yeah, but also Mr.
Wow,
Beast,
that's
he
true.
took him on like a tour, basically.
But he took him into a place that nobody goes, down into
That's
the caverns.
True. That's true. Yeah.
The caverns under the pyramid.
yeah.
Neat. That's what money will get you.
So
And
Fucking
fame.
insane.
But the thing is, there have been scientists.
I think he
and
just wanted to be in
archaeologists
one of the contests.
for years who have looked at
A
things
pyramid of
and said,
cash.
"Hey, look, the original idea, these original stories about how old it is and that sort of thing isn't obviously not true. Like because there have been people that have done studies on the Sphinx and have found that it is far older.
Yeah,
than,
they think it's close to like Göbekli Tepe
yes,
age.
if not
Like
even
12,000 to
older. Yeah.
15,000 years
Yeah.
ago, they think that was made,
Yes.
and that they made the pyramids about 5,000 to 6,000 years
Uh-huh.
ago. So,
Why?
so there's a lot of theories on the pyramids. It's on limestone, so that some of the theories are that it was a way to conduct electricity.
Limestone
that's a theory, yeah.
conducts electricity.
Yes, limestone, and the way that it's insulated and set up, they believe. It's just a theory on that one.
Yeah.
Now there's other theories too. So here's the one, the mainstream one. They're tombs.
Mhm.
They've never found a fucking body in them.
Oh, really? I thought that's what
No.
King Tut.
Tombs for the
No.
pharaohs. No.
No, King Tut was
King-
found
King Tut
many
was-
miles away.
Yeah, and King
Way
Tut
far
was,
away.
Wow, that's I've been misinformed.
Yeah, and he
I
was not
raised in
found. And
I
he
always
was-
thought
yeah.
that they were found there too.
Yeah,
And
they're
King
not
Tut was not found in the pyramid.
Nope.
And
In fact, nobody has ever been found in a
Yeah,
pyramid
not
for,
that I'm aware of.
to my
yeah.
Well, yeah, we were always told they were the tombs of kings.
That's what That's what the Orthodoxy has always said.
Well,
But why weren't there any pharaohs?
here's the other thing that's crazy too is there's a list.
Oh shit! They found us.
There's a list of fucking kings. The
Yes,
king's list.
The King's List.
That's what it's called.
Which
that-
Zahi Hawass pretended doesn't exist.
He says doesn't exist.
Yeah.
This has actually been found and written down, or in the hieroglyphs, written down, that goes back about, what is it, 20,000
Yeah,
years?
a long time.
20,000
Yeah.
years worth of kings. Now, you could say that, these are basically
Graffiti,
lore.
just made up.
No, lore and made up things that, this guy came from this to show that they were gods and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
But do some research into it. Let's research into that. See, did it go back that far? Because if it went back that far, we were not fucking hunter-gatherers.
No, and the thing is,
Back then.
Joe Rogan, when he had Zahi Hawass on recently, and
Oh, wow.
he asked him.
It was one of the worst episodes.
It was, but it was actually a surprise he even got him on.
Yes.
But
because him and
he
Graham
asked-
Hancock are
they've
friends
been,
now.
Now apparently,
It's insane.
They were rivals for years.
Yeah, because Graham was
And-
like, no, that doesn't make any.
Yeah.
There's no bodies.
Yeah.
There's no bodies. You can't call it a mass or a grave.
Exactly.
There's no bodies.
But so he had Rogan had Zahi Hawass on, and he told him about this King's List. He's like, hey, so you know about the King's List, right? And he's talking about it, and he's like, Zahi Hawass is like, I've never heard of it. I don't care. I don't need to know. I've never heard of it. That's made up.
And then later on, kind of backtracks on it because he's like, oh, you mean that thing?
yeah,
essentially.
yeah. And then just downplayed it like it didn't matter. And it's like, but it's actually a thing.
Yeah.
Like,
It's like the people that say, I don't. Dead Sea Scrolls bullshit. And it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, but it has all the stuff. It has like original copies of the first books.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, so you can't just discount all of it because you don't like it.
Yeah, it's like it does exist.
Yes.
and we have to
And it was
take
written
that into
down.
consideration that it exists.
Yeah, we
you
didn't
know?
just make it up and put it in
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Now maybe that kid did, but it's weird because it was all written on the exact same stuff that everything else was written on. It had preserved copies of
Yeah.
like the original.
I think they use like papyrus or something like
no,
that.
there
back
was
then.
there was another one that was written on some copper.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I believe it was written on copper in the Dead Sea Scrolls.
Oh, wow, I didn't know. Okay.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
it's fucking
Yeah.
wild. Like some of the things that we and even if you don't believe in like the the weird stuff like the aliens and all that
Right.
shit
Which
or
I
or
personally
God or
don't-
any of that
yeah,
stuff.
Personally, I don't believe in the ancient alien theory.
It's still interesting to find this stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it's part of the fucking history.
well, and the thing is that the more we seem to find, the more that the old ideas are basically having holes shot into them.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, obviously there was more to things than we thought there were.
But this happens in science too.
Yeah.
Not just archaeology. In science,
Mhm.
there's crazy theories that come out and people just all go, "Nah, it's bullshit." And then you find out 30 years, 40 years later when the guy's already dead, no, he was right.
He was right. Well, I mean, hey, they did it with when the people thought that the world was flat, and
Yeah.
then the first people that came forward going like, no, it's actually round. I can prove it. And those people, I think some of them
Burned
got
at the
burned
stake.
alive.
Yeah,
That's-
fuck
But
you.
then it turned out that it was true, and it's like then it became a generally accepted fact. Well, except for on the internet.
That's that's
yeah,
another
that's coming back around,
yeah, that
isn't
has
it?
come back around.
that's another weird thing too. Is that there's some ancient cultures that knew positions of planets that they couldn't possibly see.
They didn't even know that they were there.
No,
I
they
mean,
knew the
shouldn't have- well, yeah,
positions.
but they shouldn't.
But
have
they
known.
couldn't have seen them because
Yeah.
you need magnification to see.
They didn't
these.
have the ability to
They had
magnify
none
things
of that
back
shit.
But they
then.
knew
How do
they
we
were
know?
there, and they knew their orbital paths.
Yes.
And
To the day.
There was no
Yeah.
way that they would have known how to use a telescope or make a telescope.
5,000 years ago. No.
Why
At least
not?
not that we know of. We don't know of
because
any
we don't have
telescopes.
glass from that era for
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, well,
So,
So
it would be hard to.
Yeah.
but isn't that a far-fetched idea for them to have something potentially that could let them see into the stars?
Maybe we
Uh,
just don't know about it.
And we just
you
haven't
know?
found it, or
It's
it's been
something that-
destroyed?
It's something that I would be completely skeptical of until we found some evidence. of.
Right.
Yeah.
Now,
agree.
right now, the only thing I could say is I don't know how they
Well,
did
which
that.
should be more
Yeah, no.
plausible thing, a telescope or aliens, in your opinion?
I don't know on that, to be honest with you.
So if you had
I
a
don't
choice
know.
between, hey, so back 10,000 years ago, say 2,000 years ago, these planetary things that
I
showed
think
up.
2,000 years ago, we could make glass, right?
I think
Got to
so.
be.
Okay,
so.
so they could have potentially had a telescope that could.
Yeah, but those don't
With
really
reflection
show
and
up
all
until
that,
like the
and-
1000s to 1100s, right? Something like that.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's like,
and they were bad.
But the thing is, the further
They
you
were
go
like
back,
8 feet long.
Well,
the further you go back, the less survives. And
Yes, that's the other thing that's crazy.
You know, shit just turns to fucking dust.
Well, that's
after
what
a
I mean.
while,
It's
you know?
like to the ancient alien thing can obviously be disproved, not disproved, but discounted because
Discounted easily.
potentially we could have had the technology back
Sure.
then. It's
just gone.
dissolved because
Yeah.
of time.
Uh-huh.
You
Well,
know?
yeah, and I mean, it's the same thing with like people saying or talking about the pyramids and how they were built, because we don't really know.
Imagine
how
what they
No,
looked like
we
when they
don't.
were in their prime, though.
Well,
how
yeah.
beautiful that would have been.
Also,
Oh,
it
yeah,
was a valley of
absolutely.
grass and fucking.
Yeah.
It wasn't sand.
It
Yeah.
used to be more like back in
Milk
back
and
in
honey.
Like the Amazon. Yep.
Yes, it was more like the Amazon than it was a desert.
I'll bet
And,
that was a sight.
That's the other
yeah,
crazy thing.
It was
is,
probably amazing. You know,
what Cleopatra's closer to the iPhone than she is to like the biblical stuff, which
Yes.
is insane to think
it's
about.
so crazy when you
That-
think about it like that. Yeah,
That she's closer to the iPhone than the pyramids.
yeah.
Even though she was
Then-
near the pyramids, you
Mhm.
know what I mean? Like
Hell, she lived in them.
Yes, it was-
you know,
the pyramids potentially 5,000 to 6,000 years ago.
yeah,
The iPhone, and then her like at what 280 or 180 or something like that.
Because that was the era
It
of
was
like Caesar,
during the
and
Romans,
Mark
yeah.
Antony, and all that. Yeah,
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I
she
don't
wasn't
know the
even from.
exact
She
year.
wasn't. I like how all the depictions of her are like Middle Eastern and shit, and it's like she was from Greece.
Yeah, she was.
She was from fucking
Yeah.
Greece.
She
She might have had
Greek
olive
heritage.
skin, but she wasn't a fucking Arab.
Yeah, she had Greek heritage, and
I think she was born in Greece.
I
think
don't.
she was
that
born
I
in.
don't know.
I think she was born in an island off of it, or near.
Could have been because
Something
there
like
was
that.
because that's the thing. There was a lot of back and forth with Egypt and Greece back
Yeah.
then. You know,
Well,
you had
'cause-
like Herodotus
Because
that went
Rome
out there
conquered it.
and- yes, they did.
So
And
there
that's,
you go.
that's how Mark Antony and Cleopatra fell
Yes.
in love is after Rome conquered it.
yeah, and I think she was like some high up like princess or
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
royal line of
Mhm.
some place.
And then of course
I don't know enough
they
about her.
lost their.
This is a
their
terrible
rebellion
history lesson.
against
Who
the-
fucking cares? The world's burning right now. We're talking about.
We're trying to go back to simpler
Cleopatra.
times.
The world has burned before.
Well, that's what we're doing. We're doing another Cleopatra. Is what's going to happen. We got No King's Day coming up. What, Saturday?
Saturday, yeah.
What
Yeah.
the fuck is No King's Day?
So it's supposed to be a protest riot everywhere.
Yeah.
There
in
are
the US.
We don't have a king.
Well,
They're
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 saying
calling
that
Trump,
Trump
a king.
no king.
These people
Kevin-
are retarded.
Kevin, you're retarded.
We've
you didn't
established
understand
that.
what no king meant.
I
The
get it.
problem is
I'm just
they're-
saying it's stupid. It makes
They're
no
organized.
fucking sense.
That's
Yeah, 'cause
they're
it's-
organized retards.
It's
They
easy
are
to stay
organized
organized
retards.
when you have $1,000 coming to you per day to
That's
riot.
what.
Yeah, no shit.
That's the other scary thing. And then even on TikTok, it's showing up on my feed of how they're communicating. Like ICE is showing up at this location, so we need to go here. So they're even more organized. The fact because the social media is letting them know, hey, we need to be here. And now they're even going so far as like setting up false setups. Like,
Well-
so ICE can't really know where they're going to be at the
Well,
next
and
time.
on top of it, people or who is it? One of the heirs to the Walmart fortune took out an ad in the New York Times about the King's Day or
Yeah.
no King's Day. And so there's a ton of people now fucking protesting Walmart, or not protesting, but what is it? Not
Boycotting?
Boycotting Walmart because she has now taken a stance on this. And it's
Yeah.
like, well, yeah, she
No,
wants
don't do
cheap
that.
labor.
Yeah.
She's taken the unpopular stance because the majority of Americans think this shit is retarded.
I don't know. Do they?
I think so.
What
At
is
least
it?
based on
Pull
polls
it
and
up.
stuff I've
Pull
seen.
up a poll.
Let's
I want to see it.
Yeah, let's see the retard polls.
Let's see it.
I see.
Actually, I saw polls on Democrats, and it's not looking good for
Yeah,
them.
Well, no, that's
even
what I was just
CNN
saying, yeah.
put a poll up showing that more people support
Get to typing.
support kicking out like illegal immigrants and all that stuff than they do.
Do they?
want to keep them? Yes.
Well,
On
they're saying
CNN,
that's the thing. It's a great campaign ad for the Republicans. Is when you got
I was
foreign
talking-
invaders on our land flying their foreign flags and
Yeah,
burning
it's-
buildings
it-
down.
It's an insurgency. But
it really is. The whole argument. Well, yeah, January 6th was almost
people,
a fucking.
people supporting.
Hamas.
you could just
Do it.
type in
King's Day.
immigration polling.
Yeah, there we go. That's good.
Why do you got to type it in the? You're like, I've got to make alliteration. People polling polls.
Yeah. 2 days ago, Trump gets his best
Trump
marks.
gets his best marks from voters on immigration. Overall
So
approval remains low, though.
it's better than I thought it would be. I thought it would be more like maybe 60-40.
Well, that looks
and
like it's going pretty good.
Well,
Yeah.
the poll I was talking about is they just did a poll in
Look at
like
this.
California
12 hours
about
ago.
Democrats.
12 hours ago, Trump scores major polling win over Democrats.
And the polling was showing that like they were asking do you support the Republicans? And they're like 46 or 60% against them. And then they asked, do you support your own Democrats? And it was like 32%. And then same thing with like, do you have good leadership? The Republicans are like, yeah, 60%. We think that they have good leadership. Their side, 14%. I mean, insane numbers.
So it looks like we're having a movement towards independence.
Well, and the thing is, the
That would be
Democrats
nice.
Democrats poll numbers have been dropping ever since the election.
But they keep blaming it on the bullshit reasoning. They're like,
Yes.
well, no, it's fragile white people. It's
Yeah,
fucking racism. It's sexism. It's the
so
trans
ridiculous.
issue.
Yeah.
It's like, no, it's you guys pushing bullshit. Stop pushing bullshit. Start pushing things that most people care about. Like, I don't know, groceries, fucking
Taxes.
income, taxes,
Please.
Okay,
things
so-
like that.
Our money
okay,
needs
so-
to be worth more.
So here we go. So
Okay, so it
a
is-
YouGov,
it is a number that I thought it would
a
be.
YouGov CBS News poll conducted June 4th through the 6th found 54% of Americans support Trump's deportation program targeting undocumented immigrants, surpassing his ratings on the economy, 42%, and inflation, 39%. Additionally, 51% approve of ICE conducting searches.
So narrow margin
Yes.
on
That
that
is
one.
pretty narrow. For
Just
the
on,
whole-
but that's on
yeah.
that more.
Well, yeah,
more
that's because
recent
they're
one.
allowing illegals to poll.
Yeah.
Valid point.
I mean, I remember
So
at one
here-
point it was what?
Are you
20
okay with
million?
us
An RMG
deporting you?
research
No.
poll
Okay,
echoed that
thank you.
result
Check
with
You're like, I
uh,
can't understand you. You're speaking Spanish. Can you speak English? No. Like, I don't get it.
So RMG research poll echoed that result with 58% backing the deportation efforts, and in an Insider Advantage survey, 59% approved of Trump's decision to send National Guard troops to Los Angeles in response to the protests.
Look, the way that it was going, yes, send them in. I'm sorry, it sucks.
Oh yeah, no, it's gotten ridiculous. I mean, they're throwing they're like burning things. They're throwing like rocks and
I
stuff.
watched
at
that guy. He
police
got
and
caught.
all that. Yeah, good.
Like, he was wearing that mask and everything,
Mm-hmm.
and fucking that whole line of INS and fucking ICE and what was it? Just blacked out cars.
Yeah.
I mean, he's sitting there pulling up bricks and rocks
Yeah.
and throwing them at each one coming by.
Which
and they're
those
flying by at like
could-
40, 50 miles an hour.
Yeah, and those could kill someone.
Well,
Yeah.
did you see the Australian reporter getting shot by the
Like a
rubber bullet?
flashbang.
Like a flashbang. Yes.
Did you see that one?
I
though?
heard about that.
No,
That was
I didn't see
fucking
that one.
wild,
See if
dude.
you can find that one then.
He just
Let's see.
one of the SWAT
Reporter
or-
hit with a rubber bullet.
Yeah, it was an Australian reporter was reporting on the L.A. riots, and nowhere near, but this soldier or whatever turned his gun and fired on her and shot at her and
See-
actually hit her with a rubber bullet.
I was looking this stuff up, and then it.
You don't shoot the press.
No, but it pulled up. So looking
Yeah.
this stuff up ended up pulling up the shit they were doing during COVID.
Okay, here we go.
The George Floyd lockdowns.
On through the heart of LA.
Literally turned his gun on her and fired on
Yeah.
her.
And she was back turned. What obviously
yeah, doing
not
nothing
a
but
threat.
reporting. Yeah,
Let's see that again in an instant replay. Oh yeah, man, he did turn right at her and shoot her.
It's a good thing they circled him. I wouldn't have seen that. I had no idea.
absurd, man. That's the other problem. We got that side doing that.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. That's
That footage
the
was
same point I
horrific.
make about fucking conspiracy theorists. One thing goes wrong, all of a sudden now you have a fucking foothold,
Yep.
and now you have reasons to go out there. And just like this, you shooting her, that's a reason to go out there and protest.
Well, remember back in the Floyd protests when they were patrolling the streets with pepper balls.
That's what I was talking about.
Yeah.
And they're using pepper balls at
Where-
this too.
so they came down the street. Everybody, get the fuck back inside!
Yeah.
And then he just starts shooting them.
Yeah.
And they're on their property, their
Yeah.
own fucking property. It's a fenced-in property. Fuck you guys.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's what I mean. So it's when you got both sides pulling bullshit, it makes it really difficult.
that's
to
what I'm
the
saying. Is it
thing
a powder keg?
too, yeah. Well, yeah, absolutely.
Well,
And-
when you
and
see shit like that, yeah,
well,
that's frustrating as all
it's
hell.
also-
dude.
also,
Potential.
you have to also remember now, with all the stuff that's going on with these riots and everything, A lot of these police are high strung because of
Oh,
what's
I
going
thought
on.
you were just gonna be
Especially
high.
well,
They're all
because
on
Especially-
cocaine.
yeah.
well, but especially because of what happened during the BLM riots and all that shit. Where
Well,
they
they were being
fucking,
pretty
had
aggressive
no,
then too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but they also had fucking no support from a lot of these the states and stuff. Which if
Well,
they had
California,
that support,
they
they could
didn't
shut
really.
this shit down.
I know
you
the police didn't. The police were like, "We need help."
Yeah,
Governor and the mayor were like, "No, you
No.
guys are fine."
I mean,
There's nothing
Seattle
going on
just-
there.
Seattle just allowed
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
an
fucking.
entire fucking neighborhood to
yeah.
be taken over with a police station in the middle with guns in it.
Well, wait, what was it? What was the city during BLM
Chop.
riots? Or, no, not
No.
Seattle. Where they actually had to evacuate a police station, and the
That was
rioters took
Minneapolis.
over and set it on fire.
Yeah,
and
that
everything.
was Minneapolis.
Minneapolis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was like night 3.
that was crazy.
That's
man.
what I mean.
That was so crazy.
We're not doing that yet, so I still think that this isn't nearly as bad as the Floyd
I still do,
protests.
and the reason I think
Because
that
we're on night 3, and I'm not
Th-
seeing
but
any
they-
police places.
they're
being
not going to
taken
be
over.
able to do that in LA. LA, the police
fuck
departments
no,
are
yeah.
way too big. The SWAT teams are already there.
Well,
Yeah, that's
especially
what I
now
mean.
There's National
Yeah,
Guard.
National
and
Guard showed up in
Marines.
time this time. It
Yeah,
wasn't.
but
they
just
weren't.
wait till Saturday.
I don't know. I don't want to wait till Saturday. I'm not looking
Look,
forward to that.
I
I'll-
say we go on a podcast field trip to Portland on
fuck
Saturday.
that, dude. I got Father's Day on Sunday. I ain't gonna
You're
be
not
there.
making it back, Tim.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You know, they're going to be like, oh, that guy's definitely,
He ain't gonna make it.
nope, he ain't making it home.
He's winded and he haven't even got out of his car yet.
He switched stations and all of a sudden he's out.
Well, he ain't gonna survive the war.
Yeah, I think Saturday's going to be a little wild. I could
It
be
very
wrong.
well. I mean, no, you might be right.
Well, the way they're advertising it, I'm sure the military or police or National Guard are already preparing for
well,
it. as
and
Yeah.
that's one thing.
Well,
This
but the
time-
thing is, though, what cities? You
All
know?
cities.
That's the thing.
But
Can you
the-
fucking
but
get
this,
all cities
this
prepared?
time there will be more pushback than there was during the
Here's-
George Floyd. That's one of the reasons why the George Floyd riots went on so long, because there was so little fucking support and pushback.
Well, they were trying
from
to
the government.
defund the police.
Yes, they were.
It
was.
Here's
my
a
God,
here's
man,
a crazy
so
thing.
dumb.
Sam Tripoli, do you know who that is?
I do. Yeah.
Okay, so 2 years ago on Rogan, he predicted all
I
this.
think I heard about.
He
this.
fucking predicted
Yeah.
all this. He said
Tim Pool was talking.
he
about
said
this.
he said you know so what's gonna now the only thing that's different is he predicted it right before the election. This is happening right after the first
Yeah.
year after.
yeah, everyone
right?
expected it prior to.
Yeah. So, but he was saying we're gonna tone down all the gay pride stuff, which you have. If you look at I mean you really have. What fucking companies are doing pride shit anymore? None of them.
None of
really.
them. Yeah, none of them. They're
None of
all
them.
they're all silent
Because
on
they don't-
Pride.
It's
They don't-
Pride Month last month, wasn't it?
This
Or
month.
is
This month.
Yeah,
and they're
but that's what I'm
all
saying.
silent. They took all. Remember before they were.
It was
fucking
everywhere.
I
everywhere.
don't know.
Yeah.
I'm still seeing
Okay.
it all over the fucking
Well, that's
place,
because you're
guys.
gay.
No, but most of
But-
the big companies are not doing it now.
Yeah, they're not.
They're
So-
not pushing it like.
So
they
he
were.
said that they're going to tone down the pride stuff, and then what they're going to replace it with is immigration.
Huh.
And weirdly enough,
Here it
that's
is.
exactly what. And there's
Yep.
going to be protests and rioting over immigration. And he was saying this 2 fucking years ago,
He
which is
fucking-
insane.
He fucking called
Now,
it,
look, he
man.
could have just been like, well, he also credited the person that was on his podcast that told him.
Well, then that person was correct.
So
Nostradamus.
yeah, it was.
He comes back and visits.
It was
every
Baba
now and then.
Wagner
yeah,
or Vanga.
but you know
It's
the
that
thing
three-nippled
is, though,
lady from Mallrats.
is that,
It was that
you know,
chick.
some of these
Man,
people
I
that
wanna watch that again now.
Well, some of
Damn
these
it.
people that study these things and study history and everything can almost telegraph some things that are going to happen based on what's going on, because it's just human
That's
nature.
one of the reasons
History
why
tends
I've-
to repeat itself. type
Yeah,
Well,
thing.
that's why I've
absolutely,
always liked Mark
absolutely.
Twain's fucking quote of history doesn't repeat itself, but it rhymes.
It rhymes, yes. It's not everything's exactly the same,
No.
but similarities.
There's
Lots of
enough similarities
yeah.
in it. You go, oh yeah, I can see that happening in a
Yeah.
month.
I
Uh-huh.
say they still need to bring disco back.
No, fuck that.
I'm just
Yuck.
Disco and bell bottoms, man.
Fuck yeah,
When
dude.
that happens, we are done.
flower boobs and all that shit, dude. I love it.
No, I like the way the
Ugh.
chicks were.
That's what I'm
but
saying,
the
dude.
fucking dudes, no,
Whew.
we don't need that. For,
Those
I'm not
low,
dressing that
low-rise
way.
pants. Oh my god, they use
Fucking
fucking
long
pliers.
hair.
Yes, dude.
Yuck. There's some yucks in there. There's definitely some yucks.
There's some yucks.
And with the
All right, all
wait,
right,
wait,
all
wait.
right.
Also, here's the problem with that.
I like
Chicks in
about
the
high school
70s
girls,
and
man.
60s were a lot skinnier. They're not that anymore.
Oh, that's
Oh, the
true.
women?
They were healthier
Yeah.
back then. That's
The
true.
hippie women?
All of them now.
What do you mean all women now are?
Well, no, women back then were healthier. Like, you know.
Oh yeah.
What I'm saying is, you
valid.
don't want to
That's
see them
valid.
dressed like that
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Like the Puerto Rican Day Parade chicks, but dressed like hippies. I don't see that being a good thing.
You know what I love about high school girls, man? I get older, they stay the same age.
Yeah, Kevin, you're a pedophile. Anyway, we can end on Kevin being a pedophile. Thank you, Kevin.
Someone's ever seen Dazed and Confused?
No, I love that movie. I've seen it so many times. Anyway, thank you for listening to the show. If you liked it, like, subscribe, tell your friends, all that shit.
Tell everyone.
And goodbye and good night, everybody.
Godspeed.
Don't say anything, Kevin. You're ruining the ending.
No!
Goodbye, everybody. Fuck you, Kevin. You're a pedophile.